All right, we good? Yep.
Ooh, NA Miata chasing a Mustang GT? What will happen here? Find out as we watch this TOUGE attack. Oh, I should also say that you're here. Hello. Introduce yourself.
Hey everybody. Yeah, this is Speed Saint if you don't know.
Well, now you know. A little bit of background information as we start this is I have a shitbox Miata.
Very.
You can see with the disgusting windshield. The door, I think it was stuck shut at this point, and then later on in the Miata's life, it started to have an issue of not staying on the car. So sometimes during run, it would fall off.
The windshield?
Oh no, the driver door.
Oh, the driver door. Duh.
Well, the wheel setup is 14-inch wheels in the front, stock, and it's running Falconizzetti's, which is a 200 tread wear. Very good, actually. In the rear, I'm running 15-inch wheels, and it is the Yokohama S-Drives, and anyone who's driven it knows it is the pinnacle of mediocrity. Right off the bat, of course, these are two completely different setups. This is my home course, and even though this guy is not a local, the Transporter, he is a very good driver that can adapt to almost like pretty much every road that he drives. Usually the local leads. In this case, that is not true because I've already done it, but that doesn't make such a fun video. And because of the setup discrepancy, it makes sense for him to go in front, actually, in one of the rare cases. As you can already tell, it's very loud. His exhaust is just drowning out my tire noise to the point where I can't even rely on auditory feedback. So everything is purely visual and kinesthetic at this point for me. This was filmed a while ago, so I'm not completely used to the Miata setup, but, you know, I know it to an extent. I think I do push it near the limit of grip at most points, except for some safety corners. You know this course, right?
Oh, I'm sorry for my slow response. I'm sitting outside and the sprinklers started coming on, and it very much scared me in the dark. What was your question?
Well, you know the course, so what do you think would be the outcome, just seeing as this progresses? He does have somewhat of a lead, and then I catch a little bit back up because of cornering knowledge.
Right. Well, this is an incredibly long course, so, you know, if he loses focus at all, that probably has a bigger detriment to him since he doesn't know the course as well than if you lose a bit of focus, then you'll still have, you know, some instinct for your driving, is my thought. So, but then also, it's such a huge difference in car platform that, you know, I don't know if the home course knowledge would be enough to offset such a big difference in cars.
Well, so far, it doesn't seem like it is. Even right out the corner, you can see how much of a gap is taken.
Yeah, once you guys got to the hairpins with these longer straightaways, he really pulled away.
He definitely knows how to handle the Mustang around the corner, though. It does have some suspension parts I'm not completely familiar with. It's a Mustang GT, if that makes any difference.
Well, also, so I've driven this Miata before, and it's not great. It's super loose and wiggly, which kind of makes it fun, but was it always like that, or was it just more broken when I drove it?
It was always broken when we all drove it, but the amount of looseness differentiated. At this time, I had a stock setup, but the dampers of the rear were completely broken. So it would not settle properly, and you can actually hear some of the wheel skipping. There, yeah, that's a good example.
So what does this car feel like when you turn in, and how long it takes the body to catch up in the amount of roll? What's that like for this setup?
You know, it's not that different from a stock Miata. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, I'm used to awful modern car setups that is meant for normies. And so going into Miata, it's like, you know, it's not that bad.
True. Well, I think also it probably didn't have as large as sway bars as came stock on the second generation Miata. So when I drove this, it definitely felt like a lot of body roll. And like it would take time for the body to catch up to whatever the wheels are doing.
Oh, especially with your background coming from the NB2 Miata, I would say it's like a worlds of a difference.
Yeah.
Here we are. These are the places where I would normally catch up, or a local would catch up, because these lefties are completely blind. The rights, you can see visually how you can approach it, but still, he's still keeping that consistent gap. It shows how much experience he has on the TOUGE. Into the double 90s. Yeah, my driving is not like the best it is. There's a little bit of errors here and there. This is the part where the local would usually lose a non-local, and quite the opposite's happening here. And it's not even because there are so many straightaways. In fact, back there was very technical. Now we're going into the mid and high speed, and it's almost the end of the run. Will I be able to catch up in time by this hairpin is the question. Nope, and that was the last corner, so that's the closest I would get to him as he pulls away right before the straightaway. I think he even slows down here and is still maintaining that gap. And yeah, that's pretty much the run.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting one, since, you know, you have the car difference, but then the road knowledge. It's an interesting matchup because it's hard for me to see. You're driving on the tiny screen,